Minions. Minions have been on this planet far longer than we have. They go by many names. Dave, Carl. Oh, that one is Norbert. He's an idiot. They all share the same goal. To serve the most despicable master around.
I think I like Norbert already. The hugely popular creatures from the Despicable Me movies now star in a movie of their very own. Minions opens in theaters today. Richard Crouse joins us with his review of that and other films. I haven't seen it. It looks really cute.
Listen, cute is an understatement. The Minions, everyone loves the Minions. In the Despicable Me movies, they were arguably the best part of the movies. If you don't know those movies, if you're unfamiliar with the Minions, they are, like we just saw, these little jelly bean shaped yellow creatures that serve the evil Gru. His name is Gru in the Despicable Me movies. In this movie, they serve the T-Rex, Napoleon, Dracula, the pharaohs, all this stuff. But what happens when there's no one left to serve? When none of the
they have nobody to be minion
people,
too.
They have no one to be minions too. So they go to America, they go to Villain Con, and they meet Scarlet Overkill, who is played by Sandra Bullock, and they become her minion. They try and steal the crown of Queen Elizabeth. They do all sorts. They get up to all sorts of adventures. The thing is, so in the Despicable Me movies, they were a small part of the movie, and every time they come on screen, you really wanted to see them, right? Now imagine a symphony orchestra made up of nothing but triangle players. And you think, you know, sometimes it's better to have the triangle player in the back.
In the background?
Yeah.
Oh no,
and not
a full movie of just Minions.
A full movie of just triangle players, a full movie of just Minions was a bit much because they don't speak. I mean, they do in a gibberish language of Italian, French, English, and baby sounds and all sorts of things mixed up together. So they're not really telling jokes. They are enormously cute. Everyone loves the Minion, and kids love the Minions too. But I don't think that parents are going to find much to like here. I gave it 3 stars.
Okay, that's not bad.
Yeah, it's not bad, but you know, I think parents might be a little eye-rolly on this one.
Well, you know, it's something for parents. Well, you know, obviously in a very different range and switching gears altogether. And Marcy was just talking to the director, but Amy.
This is a really interesting documentary. Even if you're not an Amy Winehouse fan or you only know the song Rehab, this is a story that is more than just the story of a pop star and someone who got really famous. This is the story of a vulnerable woman who was exploited, who was pushed in directions that she didn't really necessarily want to go in, and then didn't deal very well with them once she got there. At one point in the movie, Tony Bennett, who was a great fan of Amy Winehouse, said, you know, she's the real deal. And he knew Sarah Vaughan and all those people. He said,
and he would know.
And he would know. And he says, life teaches you how to live if you live it long enough. And Amy Winehouse, who passed away at age 27, just never had the chance to figure out how to live it. And it's a fascinating look at her life and ultimately her death. It is heartbreaking when you see her as a 13 and 14-year-old, because now when you make documentaries about relatively young people living in the world today, there's cell phone footage, there's archival footage all over the place. So we actually get to see her as a vivacious 13-year-old who would just burst into song and you know, have this incredible life force coming out of her. Cut to the end of the movie when she's stumbling around a stage, unaware that there's 50,000 people in the audience there to see her. It is heartbreaking. It's a 4-star movie all the way for me.
4 stars. Okay, Batkid.
Batkid Begins is a movie about a young boy named Miles who was diagnosed with leukemia when he was still in diapers. And he had the Make-A-Wish people come to him and say, what would you like to do? And he goes, well, I love superheroes. So cut to age 5.5 or 6, when he was well enough, he's in remission, to have this dream come true. And normally what they would do probably is dress him up as Batman and parade him around in the Batmobile, and he would get his wish. This one got bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger, and finally the entire city, and you may have seen this on the news, the entire city of San Francisco became Gotham by the Bay, and they had events planned all over the city. Tens of thousands of people showed up to cheer Batkid along. They arrested the Penguin, they put the Joker or the Riddler in jail, they rescued a damsel in distress, and then gave him the key to the city. And it is a story that the documentary is not really remarkable in a lot of ways, but I think
because the story itself is.
The story itself is. You don't need to embellish this at all. So it's a 3-star movie for me.
All right, Richard, thank you. Have a great weekend.
You too.
You'll find all of Richard's reviews. They'll be on our website, canadaam.ctvnews.ca.